Claire says, general reading, please. I am immediately getting like health stuff. Is that something that's been weighing on you, either your health or I'm getting like even like caretaking? I don't know if you are a parent or caretaking family members, like something. Yes. Okay. So was the yes to the health issues, or was it about the caretaking, or was it both? Both, I guess. Okay. All right. Yeah, that came in really hot. I didn't even like take a deep breath, and all of a sudden stuff was flying right in. Okay. So what does Claire need to know? Yeah, I'm getting heavily brought into this caretaking stuff. Is it a parent? It feels more like it's like a parent than kids. Like I'm seeing like a nursing home or an assisted living, or going over, like maybe somebody needs to go to one of those places if they're not there already. But those are the visuals that I am getting. So I don't know if they're literal or if they're a metaphor. Yeah, there's a lot of like getting. Yes, and also child plus my own health needs to improve. Yeah, I'm just getting what I was gonna say is getting things in order when it comes to health. Like I'm seeing like different files. So it's what's the paperwork for this person and what they're doing and how things are going. And then yes, if you have a kid and then you have one for you, it feels like I'm seeing the different stacks. I'm seeing like a parent one. I don't know if it's one or two parents, but a parent kind of all together, a parent file. That one seems pretty thick. There's a lot of appointments. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of maybe even like medications, but there's things to discuss and things to pay attention to. And then the file for your kid, it feels like I'm seeing what like kids bring home from school when they're in like preschool or elementary school, where it's like a bunch of like drawings or like things with stickers on them. Like it doesn't feel like there's something to worry about there. Like it feels a little bit more just playful, and that could be because I don't know if it's not being prioritized as much, or like there just like really isn't any sort of an issue, but it's just, you're always thinking about how are my kids doing and are my kids okay, and you know eating what they should and learning what they should and all of that stuff. But yeah, I just keep seeing, rather than charts or medical documents coming out of the folder, that it's like drawings, like things that aren't medical. Um, and then your folder feels really small. Like your folder feels underfilled. Like there's just like a couple pieces of paper in there, and like it feels insufficient. Like there should be more in it. And that could mean talking with medical professionals. I don't know if you see a therapist at all, but it feels like there's an emphasis on specifically on talking, not just to share with a medical, a physician, what maybe some of your concerns are, if it's like illness. I'm getting something about like diabetes or like immune stuff, or like there's like just kind of things that are chronic, things that feel chronic in some capacity. I don't know if it's related to diet or not, but I'm getting something about not just talking to a medical doctor, physician, but there's something about like talking about things that are going on and what you're dealing with and what you're processing, and that there can be some triggers to whatever physical things that you're dealing with that could be tied back to some mental and emotional stuff, like what we've been talking about for the week ahead, about checking in with your feelings, checking in with your comforts, with what makes you feel safe and protected. If you feel ungrounded and then you're doing for others and then you're not grounded, it's the classic, if you don't put your oxygen mask on, then how can you help other people? Like it feels there's a little bit of that happening. Documents is a big part of it. Yes, things missing. This is so accurate. Okay, good. All right, I'm already getting, I can flip the card over. Interesting. Okay, I get this card a decent amount. And I know we've had it in some readings for the week ahead, but we haven't had it in a bit. Full moon in Virgo, as an aside, Virgo, very health oriented. Full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. Yes, the need to feel grounded. This comes a lot in other readings. Yeah. Did you resonate more with the second reading for the week ahead than the first one? Oh, gosh. Full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. So, again, like the at least the action, the suggested action that was coming through, was around just talking to some different professionals and things related to you, not just to other people. But there was an emphasis on talking to a mental health professional or potentially some other sort of like holistic practitioner. But it feels like there's things to be more holistically considered versus just whatever symptoms or things that you're having, that there's other things going on. And that it's a web. It's things that are connected to each other. And so the action feels like, you know what, this is a thing for you. This is important. You got to start filling that folder up. And the folder doesn't mean you're filling it up with a bunch of appointments. Doesn't mean that all of a sudden you don't have time for anything else. It's just, big thing with Virgo is wanting to be of service, wanting to change things, improve things. And it's like, well, if you're only doing that for other people, then how can you grow yourself as an individual? So I was just trying to come back to some of that, like have the inspired action be the thing that you're doing for yourself. Full moon in Virgo, inspired action. This is so accurate. I'm glad. I'm just getting as kind of like the final thought of like the inspired action is like it's doing the thing that you know that you should be doing, and you know the thing that is right, like for you. Like you know the thing. Like the steps that you should be taking, like who you should be talking to, all that stuff. Oh, okay, perfect, Leslie. That was deep. I need you to focus on me. Yes. We all need to give ourselves a little love and care and support. And for Virgos, that's kind of a theme in general, is when you're doing, you're supporting, you're serving, you're in service of others all the time, you're fixing things. Virgos can have a bit of perfectionism, and that can, it's for yourself. It's you have a high standard. There's things that you want to do, you want it done right. But sometimes in being service oriented and looking outward at other people, then we tend to forget and neglect some of the things that we need for ourselves. I will note here that Virgo is the sister sign to Pisces, so that's second reading. So that means that Virgos and Pisces have lots of things to learn from each other, that they are the counterbalances. So where Pisces is connected to everything and yet disconnected because there's an overwhelm, there's so much coming in, they're so sensitive, they're so in tune, they're so intuitive, they need to be grounded, and Virgo is grounded. Virgo is, how do we solve it? What's the thing that we need to do? How do we fix this? How do we make it better? And Virgo can go all the time and need to disconnect, need to play and be creative and to get out of their head and go into their feelings. And that's the Pisces piece. Virgo's grounded. Maybe I should have been Virgo. I was born early. We're not meant to be or not be anything. It's we can all learn from something. So I mean, I would be curious, Claire, like in looking at your earth signs are all grounded in some capacity. They're very in the earthly realities, and it can be, for different versions, they need the counterbalance. They need to kind of get out of their own way in some fashion. So I'm a Virgo moon. So it's like, very analytical thinking. I want stuff to be organized, like definitely the perfectionism stuff. So that's like on my mind all the time. And those are things that I have to work through. So there's high and low vibrational energy to all of the zodiac signs. So I said you were born early. So then are you a Leo? There's always something to learn in your chart, and maybe if you looked at your natal chart, then there could be something that's in Virgo, or there's other lessons that are still pointing to the lessons to learn from what's embodied in Virgo. That happens a lot. So like for me as an example, I am not Pisces, but I have multiple planets in Pisces. So there's a lot of energy in my chart of things that I have to work on that are in that area. So that's where charts are more complex than just like, oh, like I'm a Leo. Great. There's a lot of other pieces as well. Astrology tangent. But yeah, again, if anybody's interested in having their chart interpreted, I think I have one on the schedule. Once a month, I'm doing mini natal chart readings on Insight Timer, but also if you want more of a comprehensive deep dive, I offer natal chart readings. So that's something that can be booked through my website. And I know this doesn't apply to you, Claire, but I'm doing a monthly discount. So if you purchase, don't have to book during, but if you purchase an astrology reading during your birth month, so anybody born in the month of March, whether you're Pisces or Aries, then you get 25% off. So that like rotates every single month. So the next month it'll change to the next two signs, and the next two signs, and the next two signs. Also have history of autoimmune disease. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things to assess and work on, but it seems like give yourself a little time. Check in.